Hey guys, it's Lazy here, and as you can see, I just finished a sub 3-hour campaign getting through the whole 10 acts, getting all the passive skill points, and in today's videos, I'm going to show you how to blast through the PoE campaign on your ult using one of the best leveling setup that PoE 1 has to offer. Because we are at that point in the league where you got your main build going strong, you farm up tons of currencies, and now you're looking to try some other cool ascendancies, and the only things that's stopping you is having to level through the campaign again. And I have leveled a bunch of alt characters this league, try a bunch of different builds, and I always ended up going back to Hollow Palm. This setup absolutely destroyed the campaign. It is super easy to use, barely requires any gear swapping, and the best part is from level 16 onward you are running the exactly same setups. It is the gold standard for leveling in PoE, so let's talk about it. The first thing I want to say is that I have created a detailed POB for each class and with different skill pathing for you to follow, so you can replicate this on any class, not just the shadows that I'm showcasing. This build works perfectly in this league in settlers and can be used on any class or ascendancies you want to try. The best part is you can reuse the same gear sets and skill gems after you are done with one characters, making it super convenient for leveling multiple alts. Alright, so this build is all about the Keystone Hollow Palm technique, focused on stacking attributes, maximizing clear speed and movement, all aims to get you through the campaign as fast as possible by having enough damage to destroy any content you come across. We'll start very strong with Spectral Wolf and Envy for Act 1, which pretty much wrecks everything in sight, and then we'll swap to Hollow Palms, and from there it's smooth sailing all the way. The power spike comes when you put on Astral Menace at level 20, and since Hollow Palm gives you a lot of flat physical damage for every 10 dexterity that you have, we'll be stacking a tons of dexterity early on, meaning we will outscale all the campaign mobs by leaps and bounds. This build also does not fall off by Act 10 or anything, it destroys everything all the way until you complete the final boss of the campaign. And being unencumbered, which means you don't use the weapons, you don't use the glove, is a huge advantage for speed leveling because you don't have to worry about the equipments. Like I mentioned before, I have created a very detailed POE for you guys to follow with everything written out in a step-by-step process to guide you through. I have better trading link folder here, which I'll talk about in a bit. Beside that, I've got the complete build set up for you with all the items that you want to prepare ahead of time. This POB would include everything, strategy, skill to use, some tips and tricks. The main thing that you'll be using the POB for is going to check the leveling path, which you can find in the tree section here. There's the loadout features at the top right of the POB, so make sure you use that instead of just swapping the trees, because I have setups and link all the skill gems and gear for each stage of leveling. This way you'll know exactly what to use at every level. There's also a quick way to check your passive point progressions on the trees. For example, if I were to select the loadouts from level 20 to 32 here, and then I'm level 20, I want to be able to click compare here, and then I swap my trees over here to level 12 to 20 loadouts, and then it will show me exactly what notes I need to take next. Definitely use this feature, it's really convenient, make following the guide so much easier. So feel free to check out the skill gems and item section too. I have set everything up correctly with the loadout, so whenever you are not sure on what to do at a certain level, you can just open up the POB and check real quick. It's all there for you. And here's the better trading PoE add-ons, which I also use for PoE 2 as well. I use for both PoE 1 and 2 because it's just so darn convenient. I'll put the link to the browser extension in the description of this video. Basically, this add-on let me prepare all the trading links for the items you need in the leveling setups and share them here with you nicely, organized in a folder like this. All you need to do is going to copy the code from the POB and import it into your add-on just like this, and you'll have this folder nice and tidy. From there, you just click on any of these items and it will bring you straight to the trade site with all the filters already set up. This will save you a tons of time compared to the manually searching for each items, and of course, feel free to adjust the item stats to your liking if you want something slightly different or have a different budget. This will make buying all your leveling gears very easy, and you can get everything you need and be on your way. Alright guys, so here's the part that you are waiting for, the exact campaign checkpoints progressions that will cut your leveling times. I have tested this progression path on a few characters, and this exact transitions is what I think is the smoothest one so far, in my experience. I'll go through the few important checkpoints in the campaign progressions, and we'll start at level 1 with 2 Driftwood wands that will have Envy and summon Spectral Wolf enchants. Equip this one, activate the Envy aura, and on the other one with the Wolf enchant, you can socket in support gems for the Wolf like faster attack and melee splash, and that combo alone will be strong enough to carry you all the way through Act 1. You'll stick with the setups until you hit about level 16, which is a little bit into Act 2, and once you can equip Herald of Ice and Call of the Void, it's time that you make the swap to Hollow Palm, and you can do this by putting in the one with nothing jewels, allocating Hollow Palm technique keystones, and then you will swap to Volcanic Fissures of Snaking right away with whatever support gem that you can use. And very important at this point, you will need to remove your weapons and gloves so you can fully utilize Hollow Palms. And remember, being unencumbered is what makes Hollow Palm work, so no weapons, no glove. At level 20, you can equip Astra Mentis, and this amulet alone should double your damage, and this is where the build starts to feel very powerful. You will notice massive difference in your clear speed, and by level 24, you should have all your skill gems and everything set up. You'll be running Purity of Elements and Herald of Ice. Make sure that you set up your Volcanic Fissures of Snaking in a 6-link setups along with Flame Dash, War Banners, and Elemental Weakness. This same setups will take you through the entire campaign without any major changes needed, and that's the beauty of this build, is how little you need to adjust when it is up and running. Make sure you also take a look at the POB for the level 20 to 32 sections to check the items and skill gems so you don't miss anything important. It is all laid out there for you. Alright, so we finally can talk about the secret sauce that turns this leveling build into an absolute speed demons. So some of these optimization tips I give you might seem small, but they are what separate a 5 hours leveling from 3 hours, for example. So let's dive into what really makes this build fly. First up, we have something criminally underrated, which is your flask setup. By just using 2 Quicksilver flasks with 20% quality for more durations, and hitting them with the Enkindling Orb to get the 70% increase effect is an absolutely game changer for the campaign. Make sure you use a low level Quicksilver flask or roll it so that you can use it at level 4. And I cannot stress this enough, but constantly rotating and keeping your Quicksilver flask buff up is what going to cut your leveling time in half, and I'm not even exaggerating. Since we're at deck stacking, you definitely want to anoint and use Intrinsic Catalyst on your Astra Mentis and the ring as well to squeeze out basically every point of dexterity. So Utmost Swiftness alone give you 40 dexterity and 8% increased dexterity, which is perfect for us. If you somehow cannot do this anointment, you probably want to path to and allocate this notable on the trees ASAP, and the damage difference is going to be huge. And here's something that is totally optional, and I was going to do it in the Shadows one, but ended up skipping because I want to test a version without it, just using Tabula Rasa. But you can totally use a 6-link Brisk Wrapped, and this would give you about 30% more damage, which honestly might be totally overkill, but it's great if you can afford it. Just a quick reminder that if you do want to use this body armor, you want it corrupted, so you can roll it with Tainted Chromatic off to get 4 to 5 off color on this body armor. Another massive optimization is using a good leveling route, and I strongly recommend using Exile leveling tool again, unless you have memorized all the routes, and even then, it's good to have it open just in case you forget something, and you can actually configure the settings to not show the leak starter route and also skip the library so you don't waste time going there. Beyond that, if you want to be faster, skip most monsters in the campaigns and only kills magic packs to optimize the XP per time spent, and also try to memorize the layouts of areas, and this one will actually help tremendously because you don't have to backtrack. Of course, you don't have to implement every single one of these tips, but even adding one or a few will shave significant time off your leveling, and these optimizations are what's going to take you from, oh well, yeah, this is pretty quick, to holy crap, that was fast. So give them a try on your next ult and watch how quickly you will blast through the campaign to map. And here are some highlights from the campaigns going from Act 1 all the way through Act 10. You will see how this build performed through each act, from the early Spectral Wolf dominations all the way to the full Hollow Palm Sap swaps, which are going to tear through everything. So sit back, enjoy the music, see the footage, see for yourself how this build crushed the campaign. This could be you on your next ult characters. If you found this guide helpful, leave a like, subscribe for more PoE content, check the descriptions for all the POB link and trading resources. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.